So now we're moving into the very fun section of having these lightning talks made by you. So today's slots are already full and I think the people are already ready. You're gonna be first, yes? Okay, so a little about this organizational side. So each speaker will have 5 minutes to talk. And this 5 minutes is a hard limit. I will start clapping when the 5 minutes gets close to being done. So, and afterwards there is no Q&A session for these talks. So if you have questions, just find the speaker in the audience, and maybe they'll be in the after party, so you can just ask questions from there. But I guess there's nothing else to say. The slides will appear in a moment once we get it. Yeah. So the first presentation will be made by Hugo, and the topic is Python 3.14 news. Very exciting. And I hope there are slides. Yeah. So let's give it up for Hugo. And 5 minutes goes now.
My name is Hugo and I live in Helsinki. I'm the release manager for Python 3.14 and the one responsible for the Pi in the release notes. I'm going to tell you a bit about some of the fun things coming to 3.14. Python 3.14 is due out next Tuesday. Originally it would have been yesterday, but I decided to come here instead and didn't want to do the release on the phone. One of the exciting new things in 3.14 is template strings. T-strings are a generalization of F-strings. Their syntax is just like F-strings, but with a T prefix. The big difference is T-strings give you a new template type. For example, here's a familiar F-string. It gives us a string. Here's a T-string. So far, it looks the same except use a T prefix instead of an F. However, it has a new type. And the really interesting thing is we can access the internals of what went into the T-string in the first place. It's made up of the static plain text parts and the dynamic parts called interpolations. So the T-string gives us access to all the parts that went into it. One thing we can use this for is to prevent SQL injection. The user gives you an untrusted T-string and you can sanitize it before using it in a safer way. Here's another example. Let's say the user gives us some evil input. With an F-string, we just get a string. Well, that's no good. With a T-string, we get the input parts. We can then sanitize this by iterating over the input part. If we get a static part, we keep it. Otherwise, for dynamic parts, we can check if it's evil and fix it. And then we keep the rest. And then this gives us sanitized input. You may have noticed the REPL in these screenshots has color syntax highlighting. This is also new in 3.14. We started adding color in 3.13 for tracebacks and doc test, and in 3.14 we've added color to unit test and the JSON CLI and arg parse help. We tried hard to pick colors that work well in dark and light mode, have good contrast, and are also still readable if you are colorblind. However, there's a million different terminals out there with a million different configs, so we've added experimental theming support so you can tailor the colors as you wish. For 3.14, it's in the _colorize module. We'd like you to play with it, and we'll see about creating a public API for 3.15. Let's say we want to make the REPL more Estonian. We can set a new theme in our Python startup file, something like this, and change this into this. Much better. Except maybe not black, that's not very good. Finally, in just 2 weeks, we're organising the first PyCon Finland in 9 years. Tickets are still available. Welcome along. Thank you.
Thank you, Hugo. You were quite fast. You had time over. So I guess I'll just take this one. Now, Okay, let's see who we have next. Nikita, are you in the room? Are you ready to present? Yeah, you can come on up and set up. Let's see. And Nikita's talk is about OSM contributing. So again, the same rules apply. You have 5 minutes. I will start cutting if the time runs over, even though we'll go short.
Stored them.
Big screen because I have more slides.
It works.
Hello.
Yeah, you might want to get your phones out and prepare your cameras because this presentation will have a lot of QR codes. And to me, I'm Kita, I go by Kita on social networks, and you can visit this website for all the links to my persona. And I have always wanted to do a lightning talk, but I didn't know about what. So I started to list the stuff that I like, Python, Django, open source software, beer, I guess, and I didn't know what topic to choose. And then I made a post on Mastodon that went viral, and this post was about OpenStreetMap. So I guess I'm an OpenStreetMap influencer now. And today I'm going to talk to you about how to contribute to OpenStreetMap if you do not have any prior experience, if you do not know anything about it. So if you don't know anything about it, what is OpenStreetMap? It's Google Maps, but better. It's an open source geographic database which contains information about buildings, streets, points of interest, borders, and postal codes and everything. It has tons of detail. It's incredible for walking and cycling directions. And most importantly, like Wikipedia, it's run completely by volunteers. And you can be one of those volunteers. So of course, you go to OpenStreetMap, you create an account, and then how do you edit the map? Well, you have to choose an editor, because OpenStreetMap is not like Google where you just click edit. You have to choose what client you want to use for it. And then you go on the internet and you search for clients and you find something called JOSM, which, yeah, it's a bit complicated. You have a lot of buttons, you have a lot of points, a lot of lists, and for a newcomer it's completely invisible and you do not understand what all of this means. So you then search for something simpler. You maybe come across ID, which is the sort of say official way to edit OpenStreetMap. It's better, but it's still very hard to understand how to actually edit the map, what is expected from a person, and what are all these tags? Why so many tables? I don't understand. And there is a very simple way to do this. So I'm going to show you 3 apps which are very good for the beginners, and the first one is Street Complete. This is an Android app which you can think about of like Pokemon Go, but for OpenStreetMap. You open the map, you open the map and you see all of these points, and each one of those points is a quest. And a quest is not fill out a table and find out the meaning of life, but it's very simple. It's a very simple question. Does this pedestrian crossing have tactile paving, for example? And simple answers, no or yes. It doesn't take a minute to answer those questions, and as you answer it, you edited the map and you helped a person in need. You helped someone who might need this information and relies on it. And a lot of people rely on OpenStreetMap information. And in order to motivate you to go further, you also get fun badges, and you can compare yourself with other people in the world and in your country. That's pretty cool, but the problem is Android only. Don't worry, for our iOS friends, there is GoMap. It is more of a full-fledged OpenStreetMap editor, but you can also show the Street Complete quest in there, and you can also complete them. It's not a big deal. It's basically the same experience for the iOS users, but I guess without the achievements, so sorry. But both of those apps have one thing in common. They're more focused on the features of the world, streets and lamp signs and maybe traffic signs, but it's not really about the points of interest. And in my opinion, if a map doesn't have points of interest, it's not very useful. You want to find the stores to go to, you want to find new cafes and restaurants. And this is where the third app comes in. This is Everydoor. It's developed here in Estonia, and it's an app where you can fill out missing information from the points of interest around you. So you open the app and you see the map, and it's a little bit over-highlighted, but you see the map and you see the list of the points of interest, and you can directly see that some of the places don't have information about their phone number, or maybe no website, or maybe whether or not they accept credit cards. So you can click on it and you can open this and you can see all the possible ways to answer. And this is more like Google Maps in terms of editing, so they do not ask you like straightforward questions, but everything else is straightforward. If you're ever stuck, you should go to the wiki. They have a very good beginner's guide, but also the guides to how to edit every type of points of interest. If you're still stuck, you should go to the community forum where the experienced mappers will answer your questions. And most importantly, you should visit your community, because OpenStreetMap has communities all over the world, in every country, in every city, and your country also has a community, so there is a link to visit the community from this too. Thank you. She will tell you about OpenStreetMap for Python.
Thank you so much. That was an amazing finish. You finished exactly on the dot. So very great. Now, next up, you can already come up and try to set up. We have Vincent, and he's talking about AI that finds growth opportunities in your SaaS. So let's see if you get it all set up.
Hello.
Yeah, and you have 5 minutes.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Vincent. I'm a co-founder at User Journeys, and there is a lot of talks about using AI, and it's quite often around like text data. Also from the Actum presentation, we were talking about unstructured and structured data, but we're building building AI that's more visual and maybe subjective. So I thought it would be cool to share like how it can work in this way. So basically what we're building is an AI that watches your session replays and finds growth opportunities there. So basically in every web app you have like flows, like the easiest example being the onboarding flow. So here is an example, like everybody starts out creating an account, then you might have to enter some company details, some drop off, that's normal. Then you have to enter your like website, and there's like quite a lot of drop-off, so this is like a bit suspicious. And then of course at the payment step, like not everybody wants to pay, so some more drop-off. So as a maybe data scientist, data engineer, or founder, you might be looking at this and you want to know like why is this drop-off at the find website step. So usually you would watch session replays to find out what's going on. But the problem is like even if you have like a moderately popular app, you're gonna have like thousands, if not tens of thousands of these replays. So going through all of that is like quite tedious, and worst of all, in most of them like nothing happens. So even if you get some pizza and maybe beers, you're still gonna be really, really bored. So why not have AI do it instead? So going back to the example, that was actually from one of our clients. And we were able to like double their customer growth when we were like checking out the replays from that funnel using AI. So yeah, that's the funnel in how it looks. So in the find website step, you enter your like company name, and then you're supposed to automatically get all the details. But of course, maybe it doesn't work that way after all. So here is how it looks in our app. Basically, you get like a Jira-style ticket, we can say, and yeah, here's like a real example. So yeah, somebody entered their detail, like the company name. It's asterisk here for privacy reasons. Then they got some results. They put try again, so it didn't work. This time no results. Okay, let's try again. Still no results. Maybe enter manually. Don't want to do that. And still couldn't find anything, and after this they actually abandoned. And as you can see on the right hand side, we found like over 100 examples like this. And they fixed it pretty easy, like they just had to basically make that you can't like enter like random data. You had to just enter your URL and that's it. The effect was pretty amazing. We were surprised ourselves as well. They got like 30% more people getting through the find website stage, and then downstream that meant like 9% more people paid. And this is not like, you know, squeezing more money out of your customers, it's those who actually want to use it, enabling them to do so, and that's what we're all about. So yeah, we're like, want to help you maximize the value you've already built. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Vincent. And now we have Gert Kaspar coming to the stage, just to set up quickly. And his talk will be about from idea to industry standard. So let's see if the setup works as supposed to. And can we also restart the clock? Yeah, so, okay, yeah, we have it now. So you have 5 minutes, here's the mic. Go.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so I'm Gert Kaspar. I represent a company called Waybuilder, and my 5 minutes will go into explaining how a SaaS startup can actually interrupt a whole industry. So about 7 years ago, when we were kickstarting our company, we did a lot of market research and interviewed a bunch of companies on the process that we knew was on paper, so the transportation documents. So we thought that, come on, that's not the standard in Estonia, at least, and we decided that there could be a lot better solution for that. So after our first pilots, we actually started to cooperate with the key players on the market because of the interviews that we were doing. And the first pilots were so successful that we were able actually to start cooperating on the government level. So there was the huge bureaucratic reporting demand from the government that you need to declare everything. And on paper, it's you can imagine it's pretty difficult to do. You have to collect the paper, insert it into Excel, send it. So instead, we changed it onto digital format. Everything was accessible in real time. There was no data inconsistencies anymore because everybody had the same set of data. So basically what happened was, instead of paper, there is a digital document that has become the single source of truth on the market. So if you're wondering what is the correct answer or how did this delivery went exactly, that's how you can find it out. And also, we have quite comprehensive API, so each company who has their data inside the system can fetch it, do whatever they want with this, build different microservices around it, or ask us to build different microservices, and that's more or less what we are doing on the market. So the biggest change was that the biggest hardship in that process was changing the idea that people can go from paper to a digital format. And and that happens over time, so you need to provide a good, reliable solution, make it easy enough to use from the interface, and be consistent, because every change takes time. And today, in our system, there is about, only in Estonia, about 100,000 e-waybills per month. So you can imagine that for one delivery, there used to be 3 copies of paper. So instead of 300,000 papers, there is 100,000 digital documents that are stored historically in our system, accessible in real time. You can take the data, measure it, work around it, so whatever that you need to do. And so I did talk about a little bit of the industry standards. So our specific is bulk material transportation. So we are working with road construction companies, we are working with grain transportation, and we take the whole supply chain from the shipper to the client and the transportation company, and everybody takes their data that used to be on the paper and can eliminate a bunch of operational costs that used to be there before. Yep, I think that's it from me, so thanks.
Thank you for the talk. Let's just see, you might need it.
Well,
but fine.
Okay, we have Dennis. Are you here in the crowd somewhere? Yeah, you are. You can come on up and start setting up. So his topic is CD pool. So let's see if you can set up. Yeah, great. So here's the mic. Can we have any time on the clock? Yeah, there it is. So.
Hello everyone, my name is Dennis. I didn't expect to have this talk today, but I ended up having a couple of startups I was working on, and coming from pitching for money to pitching for a job. You know, we're here. So this project particularly, I've been looking for a job for the last 2 months, and I've learned that the market is quite hard, and that to maximize my game in finding a job, I need to adjust my CV a lot, and I need to create all kinds of cover letters, stuff like that. So it's, long story short, it takes a lot of time and effort and really demotivates me as a person who seeks for a job. So I came up with an idea to have, this is like a prototype I made yesterday, also as a showcase of vibe coding, aka the new way of building prototypes. So the idea is to have a generic CV, to have all kinds of facts about me. It's test data, it's not actual my personal data. So I have all those facts, I can import, export them as JSON, and I want to have like a consistent format of how I want to have my CV generated. So I can generate it, you can look at this particular template does not really look good, but I'm going there. And then I want just to readjust my basic facts about myself for a particular job position. So here I have some job description from Wise. I guess it's, I already analyzed that, but I can just go over it. So that behind the scene there is a DeepSeek model that does the heavy lifting. The entire app is running on Netlify. It's just like a React app with no real backend. It should be fast API though. And it will try to do its best to align basically my mentioned skills with the job position. It will try to analyze it. Gives me a score, extremely poor alignment, because it's the CV is about software engineering and this is some KYC management position. And then in theory, I should just adjust my CV, and this app will act as a CRM for my entire job application process, so I can really crunch the numbers and finally get a job. And I have like, this is for the demo purpose, I have a CV tailored specifically for this position. I have all my facts that are more or less relevant adjusted for this particular position. So in theory, it should not be the download button, but send the CV. And I have like a nicely adjusted CV and a cover letter for the hiring manager to make his work really easy hiring me. And this is basically the entire demo I wanted to show you. And thank you for the attention.
Thank you. So I guess that's it for the lightning talks today.
Sorry, just one moment.
Yeah. You have a whole minute and a half left.
Of course, I need to share my QR code, so in case you want to reach out to me. And this project looks good.
So in case you want to reach out to me, you're looking for a position or looking to give me a position in software engineering, so please reach out and we can build something together or work together. Thank you.